When I was just getting into sewing, I remember being so like intimidated sometimes by how much complicated math there was. This method takes the guesswork out of altering, and it has made things so much more easier for me. Hello everyone! Today I'm going to teach you a method that's great for beginners who are just learning how to sew and alter their clothes. I really like this method and still use it to this day because I make fewer mistakes with it and there's much less math involved. And math is where the things can go wrong. Like I remember one time I needed to make my jeans just a little bit tighter around my waist. So I measured my waist and it was 28 inches, and then I measured the jeans and they were 32 inches. So I was like, okay, there's a 4-inch difference, so that means I need to take off 2 inches on each side. I did that, and then my jeans didn't fit. Like they were too tight. I was like, what happened? Like I thought that math was pretty simple, but somehow in between that process of, using the measuring tape to measure yourself, then calculate how much you need to take off, and then marking it on your jeans, and then finally sewing it, like, there's a lot of places something could go wrong. So this method is a little more intuitive for beginner sewers. There's hardly any math, and you try on the clothes often in between each step. This should work for most items of clothing where you need to bring something in. If you need to expand something, then that's a bit more complicated. And if you're a beginner sewer, I also have a video on what I wish I could tell myself when I was just starting out, and I've linked that video up here. So let's begin. The first step is to wear your clothes inside out and pin it wherever you want it tightened. Now you can't really take your clothing off when it's pinned on the side. That's a bit dangerous. So what you need to do is mark with chalk wherever the pins are on, both the front and the back of the clothing. Then take off the pins and take off the item of clothing. You'll notice that the marks look a bit uneven. And that's just because, when you're wearing clothes, they slip around a bit. They're not gonna lay perfectly symmetrical on you. So what I do now is I clean up the points. I measure the distance to each point, and I just make it equal on both sides. Then I connect all of the points with a smooth line. Repin on those lines. Now this is a checkpoint. Before you sew or cut anything, wear your item of clothing again. It's going to be a little tricky to get it on when it's pinned. Just be super, super careful. And actually what I like to do is use safety pins instead of just plain straight pins. It makes it easier to get on and safer. So once you have your clothing on, just assess the fit. Does it look how you imagined it would? If you need to adjust anything, now's the time to do so. And really be picky, because once you sew it, it's harder to go back. Just keep repeating the steps till this point, till you're happy with it. So once you're perfectly happy with how it looks and how it fits, you can take off the pins, take off the clothing, and you have the all clear to sew. And since you know exactly how it already looked on you, you don't have to worry about if it's gonna fit you once you're done, because you know it will. And if you're curious how those clothes that I just demoed turned out, here's the before after. I literally do this on every single clothing item I alter. Whether I need to shorten jeans, bring in a shirt to be tighter, change the shoulders or sleeves, I always start with this method. I've also linked all those videos up here if you're curious how to do it. Like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more do-it-yourself fashion and tips, and I will see you next time. Bye!